My name is Ali Husseini. I grew up in Southern California and now operate one of the largest sport fishing websites in the world.
Just another day at the office?
My office, not yours.
I'm Rush Maltz,
Gotcha, what you seeing?
Florida Keys native and career fishing guide for the past 20 years.
Fish, when I come out to California, you can let me catch all the 300-pound tuna.
Our passion is our profession, and we know there's more to fishing than just a catch.
There's a good mark right there. That's what I like to see.
He's not superstitious because that's bad luck. That's the one!
We explore the people, places, and species that make up the culture of fishing.
How we looking?
Looking good, man. Looking good. Got some good fresh pinfish.
You know, really, you can fish year-round down here, and there's always good fish to catch.
We got a southwest wind, and it's not my favorite wind by any means.
I really look forward to November, December, January. The flip side to that is sometimes you just have to deal with some uncomfortable weather.
But tomorrow it's really supposed to come down. It's supposed to be beautiful tomorrow. We got a full moon coming up, and
I know what that means.
the water's been beautiful out front. So I think tomorrow we go all in and just shoot for a wahoo.
All right, I'm down
You know,
with that.
conditions are gonna be right tomorrow. Let's just go bottom fishing today, you know, get our feet wet. Tomorrow we go for the wahoos.
I'm in, let's go.
All right, buddy.
This is my favorite time of the year to come to the Keys.
How far are we from the spot?
52 feet. Winter time in the Keys, really starting around the holidays, Thanksgiving specifically, kicks off the high season down here.
Fishing, you're constantly dealing with Mother Nature. So you always gotta be on your toes. You always gotta be ready for the unexpected.
30 pound?
30 pounds fine. 25. Water's so dirty, I don't think it's really gonna matter.
Any good fisherman will tell you, you kind of got to fish for what's available. And I've said it a million times to friends going somewhere new, like, hey, I'm going to Cabo, you know, and I want to catch a marlin, but you know, it's the wrong time of year. Talk to your guide, fish what's available.
One of my favorite things to do when it is blowing, and I know I'm not gonna be able to get offshore on the outside edge of the reef, is fish some of these shallower patch reefs.
There you go. Look at you. Catfish
reel
killer.
flips. Dude, this thing's pulling drag. And it's not a shark yet.
These patch reefs are loaded with so many different species that can make for a great day.
How's it feel on that rod?
Sweet. It is a little mutt, so much fun. Not tiny.
Oh, that's a nice mutton. Look at you. Look at you. These rods are a lot of fun.
So much fun on that light gear. Come on, dude. That worked out really well.
What happened?
That friggin' leader broke. He must have chewed me.
So pretty. I mean, little guys, but so pretty.
Look, you don't have to talk me into catching mutton snapper.
That fish you had looked like a nice keeper.
He was decent. Yeah, no, he was an eater.
I'm gonna let this guy go.
Wow.
Starting to mark some fish on the bottom.
People I take on the boat are mind blown by being able to take a bait, put it on, drop it down, catch a fish or miss a fish, within 3 minutes, have a bait back down on the bottom and have a shot at another fish.
Feels like the pink lady. Oh no. Dude, a little red.
Little grouper.
Yes, sir. Oh, you got the variety on this spot. Crazy for how shallow. We've never fished this shallow before.
Doesn't matter what size they are some days. It's just fun to come out and catch them, you know?
Hey, on that small gear, man, as long as you're getting bites, who cares? You know, downsizing gear always adds a challenge to fishing, but in my opinion, it makes it more fun. What do you got?
Oh, no.
Playing with your new gear?
Now, is this their inshore gear or is this for both?
Dude, I don't really know. Whoa.
Ooh, there you go. What'd you just ask me?
If there's sharks here?
Is there a chance?
That doesn't feel like a shark, actually. It feels
My
like
friend, there's always a chance. There is always
not
a
a bad red,
chance. Getting bigger. Little red grouper. You look like you got a better fish there.
No, I do. You're probably gonna have to grab this.
Definitely a bottom fish of sorts. Nice mutton.
Wow, that's
Nice
awesome.
mutton. Yeah, give me a little bit more line there.
Nice.
Pretty little fish, huh?
Dude, that's a shot.
Look at the color.
Surprise. Sweet. All I did is flip that out back behind the boat a little more. On this reel, dude?
There's just
You
so
kidding
many.
me? It's so much fun.
And there's so many fish behind the boat. You just keep picking away and picking away. You get a little dinner.
Yeah.
Have a fun day of fishing.
I'm fired
Hiding
up on
from the
this gear.
wind. Florida Keys mutton snapper.
My favorite fish to catch in Florida.
Local knowledge is brought to you by Mercury, Go Boldly, Penn, Let the Battle Begin, Yeti, Built for the Wild, Seakeeper, once you feel it, you'll never boat without it, Bubba, the ultimate lifestyle, Seagar, the inventor and perfecter of fluorocarbon fishing lines, Nomad Design, crafted by experience, and by BDOutdoors.com.
That rod bend, dude. I mean, how's that
Freaking
not fun?
awesome.
Uh-oh.
Just got to scale down to the fish.
Damn.
Little red.
Not that little.
Rojo, give me a little line.
I obviously didn't grow up in Florida, but I know enough to know that if you're fishing in 20 feet of water, it's probably not going to be so great.
Look at there.
You know what?
Grouper nuggets.
I'm going to take back all of my 20-foot jokes. I mean, I may or may not have complained about the depth of water we were fishing in when we pulled up. And yet again, here's my boy in 20 feet of water, pulls a rabbit out of his you-know-what and proves me wrong.
Such a cool fish on that rod, man.
Oh, dude, it's fun as hell on this little stuff.
And you're the one who told me about these, you know? I've never used these over here. I mean, you know, I've seen guys use them in the Everglades. I've seen them use them, you know, in the mangroves, but...
Dude, I'm all geeked out on these. I was telling you, we took them out for the first time with the Bubba Blade guys. We caught 100 fish on these little ones and that little reel like you were using for jigging. We just had a blast. Scale the gear down and enjoy what it's gonna give you that day. Penn just came out with a Fathom line of low profile reels. I got a chance to fish them back home as the season was winding down, and let me tell you, they are badass. These new Fathoms come in a 200, 300, and 400 size. The 400 is what really works for me, you know, catching smaller yellowtail, smaller tuna, and it's just more fun. What do you got there, Retchie?
Looks like a little red grouper.
Little Rojo.
Yeah, guy.
Pattern so cool on them.
I generally fish light tackle, even offshore. We're trying to catch all our fish on light tackle, as light as tackle as possible, to make it fun, to make it exciting.
Such a different fish than like a reef fish. Like all these guys in here eating crabs and shrimp, stuff like that.
You know, normally we're always looking for the biggest grouper, the biggest snapper, whatever. You know, weather dealt us a hand that we've got to, we got to fish around. What that meant was fishing a little bit closer and knowing the fish are going to be smaller, but there's always a chance of finding that big guy, you know, somewhere where he shouldn't be. What did you find there, big boy?
Oh, I thought he got off. I don't know. Tell you what, on these rods, it doesn't take much.
No, it's a blast.
Look how green he is coming up. What do you got there?
Feels like a snapper.
Look at this one.
That big old, uh-oh. I'm not one to measure, you know what, that's a nice fish. You know, mine's pretty nice too.
Yours is nice.
On these windy days though, I really like to take the opportunity to check out some of these patch reefs.
Dude, that was so much fun on that little light rod.
Oh,
You hear him ripping that drag out?
Yeah,
And they
yeah.
pull so hard in this shallow water.
They're always holding good fish. You're always gonna get bites. And you're always gonna come home with some dinner and some quality fish.
All right, dude, we got a bunch of fish. I mean, we got some for dinner.
We got a little prep work to do for tomorrow. I want to get home. You know, we're going to get this little weather window.
200%. Wintertime fishing here means offshore fishing. And that's really where my passion lies, and honestly, where Rush's passion lies as well.
It gets pretty wild around the full moon, December, January, and February. Everybody knows that basically these herds of wahoo are going to start passing through the Keys.
Dude, it's flat calm. We have a full moon today, and conditions are perfect for wahoo fishing. So I know you love wahoos. I know you're not opposed to putting the time in. It's some days it comes really easy, just like anything. Some days it doesn't. We're gonna have to work at it, hit a bunch of different spots. Hopefully we come across them. And so basically, we're gonna start off hunting. I mean, I got areas that they tend to congregate, and what these areas are actual pieces of reef that stick out a little bit further than the edge of the reef. You know,
Okay.
they're just hard bottom that stick out a little bit
When you
further.
say stick out, it like kind of pokes out.
Yeah. So
Okay.
the reef runs along at, let's say, east and west, and then there's a piece that just sticks out a little further.
Got it.
A hump, basically.
Okay.
And the bait and stuff congregates around these humps, hence brings in the predator fish.
Yeah. Rush and I both get together when we talk about trolling. Not huge fans. We like to find the fish, get to the fish, catch the fish. But as any fisherman knows, sometimes trolling is necessary to locate these fish and to really get in them. Do you usually troll with 3?
I'm gonna start with 3, might slide 4 out. We also might slide like a ballyhoo and an islander out and just kind of see how it's working for us. I mean, 3's no problem. You know, we don't know a lot about these fish. I don't know where they're going or why they're going there. The few things I do know, if the conditions are right, a calm day, the right time of year, you have a good opportunity to see these fish and catch these fish. So I got a 220 right here, okay?
Okay.
What I like about these, you can troll them really fast.
Yep.
They're a little more durable too.
The wahoo were kind of spread out. Nobody really had them pinpointed, and we need to cover ground. And when you need to cover ground offshore, there's really no better way to do it than dragging some nomads. Those DTX minnows and those mad scads flat out get bit.
So this is gonna swim the deepest. I wanna put this the closest. What I have here is these wind-ons right here. This is 150 foot of line, so I kind of use it as a gauge. You know what I mean? We might put it all the way to the Dacron.
Got it?
And then drop this one, which is a 200. We're gonna put this one a little further back.
Yep.
When I first pull up to a spot, I'm gonna put a spread out, and it's kind of my go-to spread for locating the fish. And I'm gonna leave the clickers on while we're trolling. That's gonna be an indicator, obviously, if we're, you know, looking at something else, that we got the bite, you know? And we're just gonna keep the boat in gear.
You know, we fish wahoo down in Mexico. We've got a really good idea of where they're gonna be seasonally or either getting some intel from some friends, and they'll post up there. It seems like, from my understanding here, the wahoo, they're a little bit more like our white sea bass. They pop up here for a day or two and bite, and then they disappear. And then they pop up here for a day or two, and then they bite.
Yeah, let's kind of head right in this at 132.
Yep.
And kind of, once you get there, kind of, that's gonna be in like 130 feet. Whenever you get some space, try and work down to that 581 right there.
Got it.
Right on that edge.
The wahoo is such a crazy unique fish, especially over on our side of the world. You know, we don't have king mackerel, which they're similar to. They're probably one of the best, like my top 5 fish to eat. They freeze really well, they're super fun to catch, and also they're dangerous.
You know, with these fish, you kind of got to be on your toes. These fish, like we talk about, travel in packs. So you're gonna get bit on one of these lures or whatever bait you're using, and there's a good chance that you're gonna get 2 or 3 more bites right afterwards. Lures, when they slam them, it's a violent strike.
Oh yeah, no doubt. If you're not paying attention, it'll scare you.
Oh yeah. Those clickers, I mean, start screaming.
That mouth of teeth has caused more cut, you know, vinyl in boats, lost fingers, bit off lines, serrated toes. I mean, they are known, and it adds another, you know, layer of challenge to catching these cool fish.
I'm gonna check one more spot. The last hurrah. Work it pretty hard, you know what I mean?
Because these fish are dangerous. Our buddy Captain Rush had a run-in a year ago that made him famous or infamous on Instagram.
You know, I've handled so many wahoo throughout my career that, you know, you kind of loosen up a little bit. You kind of get comfortable. And one day, you know, I got a little too comfortable, you know, talking to my client about how to hold the fish to get the best picture, and it got away from me, and it almost didn't end well.
And then see it on.
Whoa! There it is, there it is!
Local knowledge is brought to you by CV Boats. Lead the way. Costa. See what's out there. AFTCO. Any fish, any water. JL Audio. How we play. Casa Vieja Lodge. Experience 5-star angling in tropical Guatemala. Taco Marine. Troll the Edge. Sack Fish. The science of being lucky. And by the Saltwater Angler Key West.
This Mad Scat, dude.
That's been the lucky lure all day, baby.
Oh, this is not acting like a small one, Rutchie.
All right, I'm just gonna start slowing it down just a little bit and keeping it in gear.
I'm still on 3.
All right.
Catching wahoo is very different from catching a lot of fish, especially if we're trolling a big plug offshore for a tuna or whatever. I mean, you troll faster because they like to strike a fast lure. Typically, we like to troll anywhere from 8 to 12 miles an hour. When they hit, there's nothing like it. A wahoo strike, the minute you get bit, you know what bit you.
Looking out for buoys.
What I like to do, you know, whether I got 1 fish on or 3 fish on, is keep the boat in gear. Very important to keep the boat in gear. Don't just pull into neutral.
Just shook his head. He's coming slow and steady, but
All right.
just got ahead of steam a little
slow
bit.
down a hair here.
Yeah. Gently bring the fish to the boat with steady pressure. None of this stuff, none of that. Wahoo have very soft mouths, so you really, after the first couple of runs, you kind of want to baby the fish, which is not that intuitive when you think of offshore fishing. Really pulled off a lot of line.
Yeah, they dump it.
You're not keeping that line tight the whole time. These fish change direction so fast with that big heavy lure in their mouth. It's easy for them to shake or move or come back at the boat and pull a hook.
Slow, steady grind. Get that fish up next to the boat.
All right, we're all clear.
He's pretty close. You want me to step up the rail when he gets close, Raj?
Whatever you can do, as long as he doesn't dart into the motors, okay? Believe it or not, I really want to land this fish. I'm slowing down a little bit.
Do what you got to do, brother.
Still in gear.
He's getting a little head shaky now.
Yeah, he's gonna get pissed when he sees that prop wash and that boat's making him uneasy. Good job. Let's do this.
Let's finish it. He's
Dude.
close, brother.
Remember, I'm in gear.
If there's one thing I can tell you about wahoo fishing is be safe, be careful. I got you. He's hanging right off the side of the
I
boat.
see him, it's a nice one. A little more, a little more.
I'm trying.
I got him. All right,
Free
stand
spool.
clear. Free spool.
Clicker on, go.
Nice fish, dude. Woo!
Look at that hoo, boy. Dude.
Look at the lure fall right out.
Ooh. What did you say? Can we get a nice 55, 60 pounder? Oh, that's a
my
legit
God.
model. Legit. You want to hold him up to your throat or you want me to?
No, I've already had my chance. I've cheated death once before already.
You know, I guess the real takeaway from this trip is take what it gives you. It's never more true than here in the Keys during the winter. That's the first one in Florida.
Wahoo. Guy, so lit up pretty too.
I know. Oh, he just destroyed that Mad Scad, bud. That's at 190, fast sink.
I love it. My favorite one.
What a nice fish, man. What a nice fish.
They dump it, don't they?
Oh, I knew he wasn't a small one because his first run was really solid. Can't get off to chase, you know, big blacks and muttons or whatever you're after. Scale it down. Stay a little closer. Go in the backcountry, which is exactly what we did. We made the most of our time. We capitalized on what the weather gave us, and we fished accordingly. Had a great trip, had a ton of fun, and a lot of laughs.